It's me, RJ Young, blowtorch of OU football. I'm not on a step mill. I'm actually at Calaveras, which is a Mexican joint where I ordered a bacon cheeseburger and fries.
Fight me. Just snap the damn ball, RJ.
So today I want to talk about Lincoln Riley's decision to kind of sort of suspend but not really suspend Baker Mayfield. You might have noticed that Barry Trammell wrote a column for the Oklahoman calling for Lincoln Riley to suspend Baker for the West Virginia game. You, like I, didn't really agree with that. Although, like I've said before, it doesn't matter what you think, it doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter what Barry thinks, doesn't matter what Baker thinks. It matters what Lincoln thinks because he's the head man at OU. But this was an important decision because it's a watershed moment for Lincoln Riley's coaching legacy. A lot was going to be said about how he handled this decision, whether it was excessive. And many of us, like me and you, thought that one game suspension versus West Virginia would be excessive, while he could not ignore it because the media had blown it up into something that it should have never been. There's some very white music playing above me and I don't like it. Never mind this unsportsmanlike conduct before the game even started by the Kansas players. Never mind Hassan Defense nearly decapitating Baker Mayfield. Is he gonna be sitting to start Kansas' next game? Because this here is tea and I'm sipping it. Excuse me, I just had to grab at something right quick. Come say it to me. Suspend me. Suspend me. Sooner Savage gang off in here. Stick to basketball. But Lincoln said, look, I'm not going to start him, and he's not going to serve as a captain for the West Virginia game because, well, as right or wrong as he might have been, I think his real sin was being caught on camera. As we've said, we see this kind of shenanigans and antics all over college football, and because Baker Mayfield is the most popular player in college football, the eventual Heisman Trophy winner in 2017, and the most valuable player in college football, any camera that finds him doing something wrong is gonna make news, whether or not it's news or not. But I also was very proud of Lincoln. I was very proud of Lincoln because he put in perspective what he does for a living, which is coach young men. We call them young because that's what they are. Sometimes they do stupid things like get caught grabbing their crotch and dropping F-bombs on camera. I need to get some young thug off in here. But we also kind of blow it out of proportion because we forget that the kids are human beings. They're human beings who are supremely athletically gifted. They're human beings who can make football plays that you and I would stumble, blow a hamstring, probably blow an ACL, or break our necks trying to do. It's one of the reasons that we love to watch them play this game that you and I have played in the backyard since we were 4 or 5 years old. But we also need to keep in perspective that the kids are between 17 and 23 years old. Now think about all the stupid stuff you did when you were 17 or 23 or somewhere in between. If we had to keep a list, you would be embarrassed. Especially if we aired that list to ESPN, to ABC, to NBC, to Fox, to whoever wanted to know about that list. And that's essentially what's been going on with Baker Mayfield since he got to OU, starting with the public intox, then with the plant the flag. By the way, this is the announcement of the inaugural Flags of Our Forefathers Award. We're gonna nickname it the Iwo Jima. Give it to the player who best exemplifies planting a flag in an opponent's stadium. Very proud to say that this year's recipient is Baker Sixo Savage Mayfield. And we will be giving the Iwo Jima to him as soon as I see him, which might be never. Also, Baker Mayfield's up for a character award, the Mortel Award. This is a real award, which means that somebody, a committee, thinks that Baker Mayfield is a high character guy in the same way that Lincoln Riley thinks that Baker Mayfield is a high character guy. So high character that if you watched the press conference, you saw Lincoln Riley get choked up, nearly teared up, stood still for a good 30 seconds or a minute trying to compose himself to talk about the kind of relationship that he has with Baker Mayfield and how he will never coach a player and has never coached a player like Baker Mayfield, and went out of his way to try to tell you about all the good that nobody sees that this kid, and yes, I'm gonna call him a kid, still does every single day. Didn't fight Lincoln about the suspension, didn't fight Lincoln about being wrong, issued the apology as soon as the game ended. What more do you want from the kid? Can I get some Chief Keef? Can I get some Denzel Curry? Is that Smash Mouth? If you want to drag him through the coals, and now you're just being excessive. And that's the thing. You're being excessive. Let it go. Let it go. And go watch him play football. Look at this. We get 2, 3, maybe 4 more games to watch Baker Mayfield play college football. Think about that for a second. Enjoy it. Have a good time. See what it's like to, you know, if Steve Young was able to talk trash and threw right-handed. Excuse me, server. More tea. I mean, do you like football? Because if you like football, you like watching Baker Mayfield play. On the flip side, since he's not going to start, I mean, we all but know that Kyler Murray is going to get the start. And a lot of us are excited about that because we want to see Kyler Murray play more because we want to know what we got going in 2018. But that said, I don't expect Kyler Murray to play more than one series. And that, you know, he'll play more than one series if he scores on the opening drive. After that, I expect to see Baker Mayfield go carve up West Virginia. And you know, that's the other thing. West Virginia doesn't have Will Grier. Dana Holgorsen said today that he's probably out for 4 to 6 weeks. So we should beat West Virginia running away. And I wouldn't mind seeing Baker Mayfield not play a whole lot versus West Virginia because we got this little thing called the Big 12 title game coming up. And then there's the Heisman ceremony. And then there's the college football playoff. And we know how bad we want Clemson. We owe Miami. We owe Miami and Clemson. And then Bama don't want us because last time we saw Bama, we mollywopped them. More tea. We got to talk about Kansas now. So what I want to know is, did David Beatty have this kind of relationship with his players in which they thought that they could make a unilateral decision to not shake Baker Mayfield's hand before the game started? Like, they didn't think about it at all during the week. Joe Dineen said it. He said, look, we thought we wanted to do something fun or something to psych ourselves up and something stupid. He didn't say stupid, but it was something stupid because you didn't want to shake the best player in college football's hands, and you didn't appreciate that we even let Baker Mayfield come to Lawrence, Kansas to play. I'm on record as saying, leave Baker at home for this game. You're playing a JUCO. You know, you're playing a JV squad. Why risk getting Baker Mayfield hurt? And that's what it ended up becoming, was trying to hurt Baker Mayfield, okay? You're launching at his head, you're laying on top of him excessively, you're trying to rile him up, you're trying to get him hurt. We don't need that. We don't need that noise from Kansas. So Kansas fans, I hope you enjoyed your free ticket, your free show to see the eventual Heisman Trophy winner play football, because that's the end of this. It's over. Now we're just gonna look to mollywop you every time we see it, because we're gonna remember what you did, which was unnecessary in a season where you've been nothing but straight
trash.
You got one win against Southeast Missouri State. They're just not even an FBS team. And you got the nerve to start talking noise? Man, don't get skull dragged. Don't get skull dragged. Stick to basketball. I asked folks on Twitter to send me their takes about what they thought of Lincoln Riley's decision in regard to Baker Mayfield's suspension. And here's what you all had to say. See, I'm listening. When I ask for you guys' opinion, I'm listening, and I want to feature it. I want to make it more part of the community. That's what this is about. It's about us. The last thing I want to say about the subject is Lincoln Riley hit another hot topic on the head, which is, should this affect Baker Mayfield's Heisman candidacy? And he said, look, if we're looking for kids who haven't made any mistakes to be Heisman Trophy winners, we're going to have a hard time finding candidates for the trophy. To which I said,
Yahtzee.
We make mistakes. That's what we do. Then we move on. We say we're sorry, we try not to do it again, and we move on. So I'm asking you, national media, I'm asking you, Baker Mayfield haters. Back to our regularly scheduled programming, where we got booty to kick on Saturday, we got booty to kick in the Big 12 title game, and we got booty to kick in the college football playoff. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Deuces.